Today we are making our predictions for the entire 2026 F1 season. First, I'm starting with the Constructors Championship standings, moving into the Drivers Championship standings, and then finishing it up with what I think is going to be the biggest surprise and the biggest slump of the year. I'm Steven from Tailgates and Trophies. Make sure to like and subscribe to support the content. Comment below what your predictions are for this upcoming season. Starting with the Constructors, unfortunately in last place, I have to put Cadillac. They just didn't look the best. They put a ton of mileage on in Bahrain testing, which is always a good thing, but with Bottas and Checo coming back, that team, this is completely a trial year, and I think we all expect that. In 10th place, I have Aston Martin. That's if they even race this year. I mean, the first race, they're only going to do the formation lap and then retire. It's just a recipe for disaster. There was all this hype about how they're going to build a great car this year, and now they don't even have parts to even run one. Lance Stroll, it's going to be a rough season for him. In 9th place, we have VCarb. They're probably the most unpredictable team this year. Nobody knows how good they're going to be. Last year, they were pretty decent, but they lost Hadjar. Now they have Arvid Lindblad. Liam Lawson was pretty solid towards the end of the season, so we'll have to see where they end up. In 8th, we have Alpine. They're putting all their money into this season. They have all this hope, but they still have Franco Colapinto, who scored 0 points last year, and Pierre Gasly, he almost left the team last year. He hated that car so much. So I really think he's going to be trying his hardest. He can carry that team. It's how far will he take them? 7th place, we have Audi, formerly Kick Sauber. The Hulk is back, and Gabriel Bortoleto in his sophomore season. I think he's ready to tear it up. He looked great last year. The team is full of chemistry. Hulkenberg seems pretty happy, especially now that he's got a German engineering team. But Audi right out the gate with their own engine, they're pretty unpredictable as well. I mean, in testing, they were all right, but who knows where they'll be at the end of the season. In 6th, I have Haas. They put a ton of mileage on in testing as well. Esteban Ocon, very consistent last year. Oliver Behrman is looking to have a great sophomore year this year. I think he could really do some damage. Haas is going to be one of those teams that's fighting for the 10th spot every single race. They can get up in the top 5, but they've also shown they can be in the bottom 2 every race. So who knows? Qualifying is going to be their biggest thing that's going to see how far it can take them this year. In 5th, we have Williams, Carlos Sainz. Absolutely great end to the season last year that people aren't talking about enough. I mean, his car was super unreliable last year. Him and Alex Albon, it seemed like they DNF'd like half the races and none of it was their fault. So I really think Williams, as long as their car isn't faulty like people are saying this year, they could be a really strong contender. In 4th, I'm going to get a lot of hate. I'm not falling for the delusion. I'm not going for it. I have Ferrari. The hype train is up here, but that's every single year. I mean, it's Ferrari. They're still a curse. I still don't believe in them. And now they have the Kim K curse. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't get worse than that. They looked absolutely amazing in testing, and Lewis is fired up this year. He said on Instagram he's so back, but I mean, that's like the Ferrari saying every year. Charles Leclerc just got married, driving around that beautiful Ferrari around Monaco. I really think they could win some races this year and do some damage, but I don't think it's enough to move all the way up to first over the powerhouse teams. And then moving into the top 3, this is where it gets really difficult. At 3, I have Red Bull. I mean, Max is going to be trying his best to carry this team to first every single race. It's just whether Hadjar will get the second seat curse or not. I personally believe in Hadjar, but we'll have to see if Max seems checked out this year, though. He is not the biggest fan of the new regulation cars, but it's still Max. He's going to drive out there his hardest every single race. It's the only thing he cares about. Then coming in first for the Constructors Championship, it's the common favorite, but I have Mercedes. I think they're just gaps ahead of everybody this year. New regulations, always their thing. Their engine looks absolutely amazing. They have 2 great drivers. That means McLaren comes in second. I mean, McLaren, people are saying they could drop to 4th. I mean, they can also get first, but they don't look as fast this year, not even close to Mercedes right now. Make sure to subscribe for season-long coverage. We have a long 9 months ahead of us, and I can't wait for all 24 weeks. Moving on to the drivers' standings, we have 22 drivers this year. It feels very weird to say. Coming in last place, it has to be somebody. Oh, don't come at me. It's going to be Checo. Cadillac, just like I said before, they're a mystery mark, and they're probably not going to be up to standard this year. It's completely a trial year. It was either Bottas or Checo. And I really think Bottas, with more recent driving as the backup driver, hanging around Mercedes all year last year, I think he'll pull a couple points ahead of Checo. In 21st, I'm sorry, but I have Lance Stroll. He was, all right last year, but that car is an absolute disaster. That does not help him in any way. I think it's going to be a sad season for Lance, and all the talk with Lawrence outside of F1 is not very good. In 20th, I have Bottas. I mean, he's not really going to get many points this year either, being in the Cadillac, but I think it's going to be just enough to squeeze past Checo and Lance Stroll. Coming in 19th, we have the only rookie driver this year, Arvid Lindblad. V-Carb, like I said earlier, very unpredictable car. He just doesn't have the experience in it like Lawson does. He's probably going to be towards the bottom of the pack, but I don't think he's going to be last, so that's why I have him in 19th. Coming in 18th, we have Franco Colapinto. He scored 0 points last year. Didn't look very good. Doohan scored 0 points, so not too much better than. Definitely going to improve with at least a couple this year. I don't think he's going to be at the very bottom with Cadillac, but he has to make a serious improvement from last year to jump up in the standings. At 17th, breaks my heart to say it, but I have Fernando Alonso. The Aston Martin is doing him dirty. He has nowhere to go. He really thought this was going to be the year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I eat my words. I hope so, but I don't think Fernando's really getting past 17th. 16th, I have Liam Lawson. He looked really good at the end of the year last year, and he proved that he belongs in F1. Does he deserve to be in the first team Red Bull? No. Can he carry V-Carb? I think so. Coming in 15th, I have Gabriel Bortoleto. He could be all the way at the bottom, and he could be all the way up to 10, in my opinion. I think he's the most unpredictable driver this year. I think his chemistry, his positivity is great, and he's ready to take on this year with a new team in Audi. And Hulkenberg is such a great vet to have along his side. Coming in 14th, we have Esty Bestie, Esteban Ocon. He, in that Haas, unless he really just improves from his form, I don't see him not being middle of the pack. He's the most middle of the pack guy you can think of. That's why I have him at 14. Number 13, being a little optimistic here, I have the Hulk. I hope he does really good this year. I mean, I think everybody roots for him, but I think he's going to be really solid this year. He's had really good testing times, so looking good there. And 13th, I have the Hulk. In 12th, I have Alex Albon. The Williams did not treat him very well last year. I really think he can turn it around this year. It's just, will the car last him this year? That's the biggest question. If it does, I think he's also going to be middle of the pack. I mean, the top half of the drivers this year is just way too stacked. In 11th, in his purest form, I have Pierre Gasly. I think he's super motivated this year. Their car should be way better than last year. He's got something to prove. I think this is Pierre Gasly's year to chase the top 10. I don't think he'll quite make it, though. I think 11th is probably the best an Alpine's going to get. In 11th, I have Oliver Behrman. He was an extremely solid rookie last year. He had some great finishes at the top of the grid, but then he also had some qualifyings all the way at the bottom. It's whether he can stay consistent and stay on the track. If he can do all those, then he can easily be 10th, I would say. Coming in at 9, I have Carlos Sainz. Like I said, he was absolutely great at the end of the year last year. I think he deserves way more, but that top 8, way too difficult. I think 9th is like the perfect spot for him. I think he'll have a really good, solid year. Like I said with Albon, as long as he stays on the track and that car stays working for him, there's no reason he shouldn't be around 9. Coming in at 8, my personal favorite driver coming into this year, Isaac Hadjar. I think he's going to be excellent. I don't think he's going to get that second seat curse. I really don't. I could be completely wrong. But if he can perform in that second seat Red Bull, I really do see him being just outside the pack of the elite. 8th place would be an insane season for him. That's absolutely what I would aim for. In 7th place, don't hate me, it's got to be somebody. This top 7, I mean, somebody's got to be 7th, and I have Lewis Hamilton. I think last year he really got down in the dumps. He turned around mentally, he says, so he's going to have some strong races this year. Like I said, I don't believe in that Ferrari hype like everybody else does. So 7th place for Lewis Hamilton. With that being said, in 6th place, I have Charles Leclerc. Same reasons as Lewis. I just don't really fully believe that Ferrari hype. And that top 5, as we keep saying, is insane. I think Charles is going to be the one who gets left on the outside of the top 5. 6th place, there's no way he's any lower. Fifth, I have Oscar Piastri. I really think he can keep that form from last year. He just has way more competition. I mean, depending on are we getting first half of the season Oscar or second half of the season Oscar? It can really depend on what he's going to do this year. But his competition is just way too strong, and he wasn't the best at street races last year, as you could see. Coming in fourth, very high hopes, Kimi Antonelli. He could easily get top three, but I think fourth is really where he's going to be at. That top three is just too many elite drivers. People are going to say I'm biased for the hat I'm wearing. I get it. But fourth, I think for Kimi Antonelli, he's going to see the podium quite a few times this year in that Mercedes. In third place, I have Lando Norris. As long as he can keep emotionally in check and stay motivated coming off that Drivers' Championship win from last year, I think third place is going to be a sweet spot. I don't think the McLaren is quite fast enough to get him up to first, but I think he can drive himself up to third. I mean, he could prove everybody wrong and get first, but it also looks like he could be fifth or sixth as well. Lando and McLaren are pretty unpredictable right now. That means we got the top two. So in first place, winning it all this year, it's the common pick, but I'm taking George Russell. He has been so close every year, and now that Mercedes is perfect for him. If this is the year that he can win it all, if he doesn't, who knows if he ever will. But that means right in second place, we have Max right behind him. It's going to be such a great 1-2 championship battle this year if that happens. They absolutely hate each other, and they duel it out on the track. It's going to be awesome to watch all season long. End of the season, it's going to be an absolute dogfight between these two. And you know Max never gives up, and you know George is tired of trailing behind. Make sure to leave a comment with my best and worst predictions so far down below. My biggest surprise this year is going to be Oliver Behrman. If he can get top 10 in that Haas, give it all to him. He's going to be a driver of the future. He's going to be insane. I think this year, as long as he does not crash and can stay on track, he is going to be one that is going to disrupt those top standings. He's going to squeeze himself in there, go towards a podium, and it's going to really mess with the other drivers who are fighting for the championship. He's an absolute underdog this year, and I think he's ready for it. That takes us into the biggest letdown driver this year. I think it's going to be Lance Stroll. It could be a very sad and long season for him and Aston Martin. I really don't see them competing at all. And Lance, he's going to DNF a couple times. He didn't crash as much last year. That's saying something. For some reason, he turns into prime Ayrton Senna in wet races. Who knows why? But I just don't think he's going to even be towards the top of the grid to even disrupt anything this year. It's going to be a long season for Lance. Absolute masterclass of a season ahead of us. The top 8 this year is so competitive and so unpredictable. Make sure you bookmark this video for Abu Dhabi at the end of the year to see how bad or how good these takes were. And subscribe for some more F1 and all sports content.